Hey kids, I am going on boat tour number 3, and you'll see it's just a short walk from the condo. I'm gonna go here to the marina where we used to usually keep our boat, but she's at the shipyard right now. But we are going to see today a good friend of ours, Andrew, has a Sabre 32. I hope that's right, it might be a 34. The guys always get a little upset when I short him a few inches. Yeah, it's a 34, and a beautiful one at that. Let's go look at a Sabre, shall we? All right, 34 feet. Got it. This boat, Edelweiss, is actually one that we raft up with often on the weekends at our local anchorages. Sabre boat, and he's had it, I think, about 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. Really beautiful boat and well laid out, good space for him and his family because he has 3 kids, you'll see. So it's great to see a family can fit comfortably on a boat like this and coastal cruise on the weekends. And I got some really awesome feedback from all of you guys. Thank you so much in response to my boat tours questions. What do y'all want to know? I've made a really great list. This makes sense to me, I promise. It's not gibberish, and it's going to help me ask the questions that you all want to know about to make sure I touch on engine access, stowage, sail plan, single-handed sailing, all those great things you guys told me about, because I want these tours to be helpful to you. So here we go. Let's go look at a Sabre.
Yeah, it's my luck.
All right, kids, we are here today with Andrew on, and I don't know the year yet. How
It's
old
a
is your boat?
1984. It's a Sabre 34 Mark 1
Cool.
is the
Okay.
technical word for it. After, I think, 85, they made a Mark 2 where they actually, 1985, so this was the last year of this production. And then they dramatically changed how Sabres looked after that.
Have you seen the next markup, and what do you think about it?
I mean, I like it. It looks much more modern, but I love these older boats with the nice overhangs, and the windows are very different. The port lights are a little bit different from here to the next model up, and I think I have a lot more natural light coming through.
Yeah.
And these these are.
Yeah, we'll see those. Yours are huge.
Yeah, they're very big. That was one of the things I really liked about it when I first looked at it was how bright it was down below.
So what attracted you to the boat initially?
I knew it was a good build, first of all. Sabres have got a great name, and I've been lucky enough to have really good boats. Never an actual bigger sailboat. Yeah, we've had runabouts and Boston Whalers, Edgewaters, and there's definitely a benefit to having a really well built boat.
Right.
And so the list was pretty short on what we were looking for. For years I've been talking about it, and then we went to see a boat that was in Alabama, and we had kind of looked at this one. We went to see that one and realized how bad boats can be. Yeah. And came back and looked at this one with Megan, my wife.
Right.
And we were like, this is great.
Totally perfect.
Done.
Totally perfect.
Done. And then
it kind of helps to see bad boats.
Absolutely.
I'll say that. A lot of people say you can step on the boat you love and buy it, and that's great. But it's good to see other boats because you're like, man, I'm so glad my boat doesn't look like that or it doesn't have that.
The other big thing is we used to sail catamarans a lot, so I like to sail as fast as possible. And I know these are fast boats, so I wanted a faster boat.
Well, I'm really glad you said that because there's monohull versus cat is a big debate. So what made you switch from cat to a monohull?
Well, price mostly.
Does it make us do everything?
There's 0 catamarans that I could comfortably afford.
Okay, you're like done.
And this boat has I guess some would consider it tender. So at about 16 knots of wind, it'll really, especially at a gust, it'll really heel over, which is a lot like catamaran sailing, where you really feel the wind.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like to kind of feel what's going on, and instead of some of the the heavier displacement boats where big gust will hit you and it'll take like a few minutes to really kind of feel it.
So this is very responsive.
This is very responsive.
Kind of like feather light.
In a lot of wind, it can be a little exhausting, but I've learned this boat is a lot better than I am, and
it's a good
there's so much more that I can learn about this boat. Every time we go on big winds, I learn something.
Tell me a little bit about your sail plan.
All right, so it is I guess a sloop rig, and it's got a 135 Genoa, and then mainsail, roller furling, and obviously one of the nice things about that is you can really reel in the power if you're overpowered. A lot of times if we're blowing really hard, I won't even put the mainsail up and just have the Genoa up. And then, you know, it's easy to reef in, and you can really control the power that you got pretty simply. And then, you know, I've learned to reef the main around 16 to 18 knots.
Okay.
And reefing the Jenny really makes the biggest difference, though.
And you primarily single hand, right?
Yeah, me and my 5-year-old daughter and my dog will come out mostly. And it's easy enough to get in and out of the slip that we will be, you know, when nap time for the other kids are going on, we'll run down here, take one tack to the island and one tack back, dock it, and go back home before everybody's even awake.
How perfect.
It works out great.
So that's like a nice relaxing for you.
I'm not in trouble either.
So you get the napping with the kids, you get your sail, everybody's happy.
The other cool thing is all the lines are led aft and to the
That's
cockpit,
like our boat,
so we can really do a lot. I mean, I can pretty much do everything from the cockpit, and it's very safe. You don't have to come up here and try to
A lot of people ask me if that makes it more tension, harder to pull. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it is. You know, you can much more easily just come up to the mast and pull on the halyard and bring up the mainsail a little bit more easily, but this is fine. You know, for not having to leave the cockpit, it's
especially if you've got kids and a dog and things to look after, you don't want to leave.
Doable. And autopilot, obviously, so it's really not bad at all.
Very cool. I have to ask how old you're rigging, because I think about that a lot
the
now.
rigging is less than 10 years old. I think, well, I guess it's 11 years. It was done in 2005.
Nice.
So, yeah,
do you have any big upgrades with the sails or anything that you'd like to do, or is everything pretty much rigged out how you want it?
Yeah, no, I think it's fine.
I love your stack pack. We're a big fan.
Yeah, that's all been done within the last few years.
And I know your CTOL was done, and you're happy with that?
Yeah, I did this. I actually did the clear this year. I did the regular CTOL last year. It's fine, honestly. I'm not overly concerned about it. I just want to protect it. You know, I'm sure it could look a lot better. I did the tow rail. You know, honestly, I do things in 15-minute increments.
That's all you have. Yeah, that's all you get to work with.
It's one of these things. I'll sand it, your green Scotch Brite pad, and come back
and do one more. I think it looks great. A lot of people talk about that orange color. I actually like yours more than other ones that I've seen. Yeah, the tone of yours is nice.
Honestly, it's fine.
And you have a huge Bimini back here. Tell us about that, because I know when I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that thing is huge. But
it does. When I first saw it too, I was like, that's ridiculous.
This is crazy looking. But
it was put on by the previous owner who wanted to stay out of the sun, and I got to tell you, this is one of the best things to have because we take these off in the summer. These the Isinglass Panels. So it's basically a T-top.
Nice.
So
that's
you
cool. With a lot of shade, because yours is huge.
You have great visibility out, but then the shade is remarkable. You know, I
have to say, I'm a little jealous now that I see it, because we have the Dodger and the Bimini, which I like, but you do have that open gap.
Right.
You know, they're always trying to fill or get out of the sun.
And it doesn't affect anything about the sailing qualities.
Yeah, and you still have visibility. Yeah, tell us about the solar panels.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. You know, I just because we have all this real estate up here. I got 300 watts. So these are 100 watt panels, and those are two 50 watt panels.
And you've still got the nice panels, the icy panels that you can see through to see your wind vane. You did.
When we bought the boat, there was no window to see the sails. So it's really frustrating. She'd have to hang way out just to see the
I didn't know that. Wow.
So I had Linda at Shrek's Boat Canvas put these in for me.
Very nice. Very smart.
Yeah, it does help a lot.
Do you feel sufficient on power now that you got your 4 panels? You have plenty for the family and everything y'all need to do?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We had some issues with our batteries, but we have a fairly small house bank. It's 230 amp hours for the house. And well, when we first had it, there was a leak through the strut bolts. So the bilge pump was running
I was with you that weekend,
running every 15 minutes, and so it just kept draining our batteries. And I knew there was water coming in, but I could not for the life of me find it. I thought it was a stuffing box until we found it that weekend. And ever since then, it's been tremendously better.
No problem. Good deal. And I remember you were stuffed down in there trying to get to the keel bolts, and that was quite a weekend.
Actually, though, the access down into the lower units of the boat are tremendous, and the storage is great too.
Yeah, tell me about the storage.
It goes way down there, you know, and we got, you know.
This is like the garage, I can tell.
This is like the garage.
You have boat hooks vertical?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that tells me a lot right there.
Down in there.
You can, and I mean head clearance and all. You can stand
Decent,
completely.
yeah, and you can actually access the engine,
It's
like the transmission down there, and it's a little forward up here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have you show me the engine access. That'll be neat.
Yeah,
it's massive.
So yeah, I was very well acquainted with that locker.
I love your covers here too.
Yeah, also we got those when we got the boat.
Great size cockpit. All right, before we leave the dinghy, tell me about your dinghy.
This is brand new.
It's shiny. I can still see like the Zodiac name on it. So.
It's brand new. We had it was a 7-year-old West Marine PVC thing that it was leaking water, and the whole thing. I tried to re-epoxy it. I shouldn't have even bothered, and it just kept leaking. And I gave it to Jeff over there.
Oh, cool. You're like, hey, you want my leaky dinghy? Here you go.
I said it leaks, but you can have it.
But you're welcome to it. Yeah.
So it's brand new. It
Very
fits
nice.
better. It's shorter. The other one stuck out like a canoe.
Was it 8 feet and this is 6?
This is 8.5 and it was 10.
Okay. Do you think 8.5? Have y'all used it yet? Put it in the
I
water?
buzzed around here. It's gonna be a little tighter, but it'll be fine.
It's nicer to have it smaller on the back of the boat too, you know.
Yeah. I put this stabilizing bar on the davits. These were rotating davits, and when I would heel over, the whole thing would shift, and I actually would drag sometimes.
You know, I know something about that, right?
I've heard the story.
Yeah, swinging. We can't. And maybe it's just us, but I don't think we'll ever do davits just because of that experience. I'm sure they make them stronger. And it really was, you know. And I just don't think we'll trust them. I would trust them all the time coastal cruising around here, but if you get in some serious shit, there's just, I don't know. I've got to get that boat off the back. I wouldn't leave it there, or I'd cut it off in the beginning.
It's been good for us. It's easy, you know. It's one of my favorite things when we anchor is to buzz around in the dinghy. The kids love it. We chase dolphins around.
It's so much fun.
They chase us and they ride with us.
They do.
But
cool. Well, I'm glad you got a new.
Seriously.
All right, let's get a tour.
All right.
Oh my God. Lord, Andrew, this is beautiful.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody cleans up for me. I'm not sure they do, but it always looks spotless when I walk aboard.
I mean, you got to stage it, right? So.
Wait, did you do this recently?
It was done. No, it was all done, and it is in really nice shape. And the Sabre's kind of known for their build quality.
You can feel it. You can just tell.
Yeah, one of the really cool things that
you
people.
Just push it hard.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of the cool things people like about Sabres is the dedicated tool drawer.
Drawer, I see.
It actually has.
I was going to say your tools aren't in the right slots, but I can tell.
Little slots, but I got too many of them.
Operation.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's a nice thing.
Very
and junk drawer.
Always. Everybody's got one of those.
Stuff you need. This is the starting batteries in there, and then
very cool. Is this your bilge access here?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
And you'll notice the water. That's rain. That's rain water.
Very recent. It poured here.
The next project is going to be it's the little cockpit drains they're leaking.
The scuppers.
Yeah, they're leaking.
We just replaced the hoses on those.
So
totally with you. Good that you can see though. Yeah. Make sure you have water or not. I love the U-shaped galley. Everybody's a big fan of that. And I've always talked about the sink being close, at least to the cockpit. And yours is close enough that you can throw stuff in there if you need. That needs stabilizing. And
it does
helpful.
well.
Show us the fridge here. What you working with?
All right. So we got top loading fridge, decent size.
That is pretty big.
Yeah.
I think your freezer looks about the same size as ours.
Yeah, maybe so. Pretty standard. And then the
2-burner gimbal.
2-burner. Yep. This is compressed natural gas, not propane. Which I'm sure at some point I'll have to change over to propane. It's getting harder and harder to find compressed natural gas, but.
Do you prefer using the natural gas though?
I don't care.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
It burns.
Ease of use and ease of refilling is probably more. Deep sinks. Definitely, I noticed that your sink bays are bigger and deeper than ours. That's kind of cool. Nice stowage.
Decent. Yep. And then these are just like the stores that we have that aren't going to go bad.
The preserved, non-preserved. Put them up there. It's a great layout though. This reminds me a little of Kevin's. It's kind of similar in the saloon area.
It's a pretty traditional layout. There's nothing too dramatic, too innovative about it, but it's very functional.
But it's big. It's very roomy.
Very
Do you
roomy.
Feel like there's still enough handholds and everything?
Absolutely.
When you're walking through underway?
When we were cruising. So we were out there with all 3 kids, and it was 2 weekends ago, and it was blowing hard. It was, we were heeled over, and all 3 kids, we dropped the table down. I'll show you how it looks when it comes down.
Yeah.
The kids will go over here, and the table comes down, and during the blow, because we were heeled over, they're all wedged in here and coloring and having a good time.
Just perfectly happy, huh?
Yeah.
How great is that?
Yeah.
It's like a kid's seatbelt. Here,
Yeah.
put them in right there.
Absolutely.
I like it. And then it pulls up over here, looks like.
Yeah, it'll come all the way up.
Very
and
nice.
You can just
Wow.
with 2 legs.
That's the first time I've seen that one out.
So
That's
it can
really
really
nice.
sit nicely, but it goes away very nicely too.
It does. Two steps.
Yeah.
Ours kind of has a broad that we have to get out and prop up, and which isn't bad, but I would definitely like it to be all integrated.
And another thing that I like about I like keel step masts.
Mhm.
You know, I know deck step masts are okay,
Yep.
but I just love the idea that this thing is integrated into the
I
soul
definitely
of the
agree with
boat.
you now.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? Obviously, the view berth is up there,
Good
and it's a good size. It'll
Very
fit.
clean. I just have not noticed like the quality and condition and the finish of your wood.
Yeah, it's nice. They did a good job.
Oh, that is
And-
beautiful. Ooh, this is nice. So do you guys sleep head this way, feet
Yeah,
back?
yeah.
There
So
you go.
really what we do is I sleep in the middle, my 2 daughters over here,
Mm-hmm.
and then this starboard settee actually pulls out to a double bed.
And do you guys usually pull that out?
Oh, every time you
Oh, very
pull it
cool.
out.
And then Megan.
Megan and the baby sleep over here.
Perfect.
And then when the baby gets
Perfect.
a little bit older, all 3 kids are gonna sleep up here and we'll sleep back here.
Nice. Then you'll have your own little quarter. Notice that.
Yeah, there's the head in
Oh.
there.
I know. I like
It
this.
says
Which I thought was
You know-
great.
nice.
Cool. Tell me about what kind of head do you have?
It's Jabsco basic hand pump
Mhm.
that I thought it'd be a good idea to replace all the parts, and I ended up breaking the plastic, and then had to do a lot
Nice,
more work than I
nice.
anticipated.
Gosh, looks great.
You can shower in there.
This
There
is like
a
the
sump.
overhead shower, right?
Yeah, exactly. There is a sump down under the floorboards there.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't. One of the upgrades I did was put a cockpit shower.
Oh,
And,
installed already that pulls fresh water?
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah,
very
it comes
nice.
from our
Very
freshwater
cool, which
tanks.
is pretty
So a
cool.
lot of storage.
Pretty awesome.
And we don't really utilize it. I mean,
You got
it's
Mr. Potato Head. I like that.
just in case.
Just in case. I see you. Is this your chain plate too? It looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
And you can check that because
Yeah.
we're working with all of ours now. So
Yeah.
Very
Chain
good
plate
to see
access
him.
is pretty good.
engine access. You were gonna
Yeah.
show me that.
Yeah, so it's right here.
Ah, look at that! Wow, that's cool.
And if you really you want to actually see it, you can just
Take the drawers out.
doors out.
Oh, and this. I see what's gonna happen here.
And then
Oh, and that's your trash
this
can.
is a big trash can.
Oh my God, that's nice.
It is nice.
Wow, and it's built right into the counter.
You'd think like, oh, who needs it? You know.
That was cool. No, our trash is like a little cubby, and so it's maybe 8. No, not 8 gallons. It's 4 gallons. I think,
Yeah.
maybe?
yeah,
And that's
so-
5.5. That's awesome.
Yeah, it works.
Man, look at this. That's
It's
impressive.
a great engineer, the same one.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice to
I'd love
be.
to come down and actually detail it and clean it up, but
Sure. It looks pretty good though.
you know, when
Looks
we
like it's
took
in
it
good
out
shape.
last year, I cleaned out the heat exchanger, all the fluids.
Yeah, you did a new
Yeah.
coolant bin.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a little cockeyed. Am I crazy, or is that
Well,
that how it's mounted?
that's how the shaft comes out.
Okay.
We come out of the port side,
Oh,
so
it's not
it's just
center.
angled. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Do you
I-
find that affects your steering at all? Is that a dumb question?
no, but it'll walk to port. So
Yeah,
when you're
okay.
In reverse, it'll pull to port. You just
You kind of make adjustment for it, huh?
yeah, sure.
Wow, that's really awesome. I love that.
Mhm.
They're gonna love seeing that. Fantastic. That was easy too. Took you like 3 steps.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all.
That's why you're sitting there. Another little
Oh,
top
yeah.
table. How cool.
Little cocktail table.
Boy, I would add that to our boat.
It's really nice to have.
That is
yeah,
handy.
little cocktail table.
Very cool. Now tell me, is there anything about your boat that you would change? Something you don't like? A limitation? A setback? Oh,
No, I can't really think of anything. Everything works really well. It's very simple, and
I've noticed that it is. I like the
you know,
systems are very easy.
Yeah, they're very intuitive, and there's nothing too crazy about it. The access is generally pretty good on whatever I need to get. No.
Okay, I love that. It's an honest answer. You got a lot of headroom too here.
Yeah.
I won't short you any inches. Are you 5'9"?
Jesus, no, 5'10".
Ah, God!
Maybe afro, 6'1".
Again!
Yeah.
I got a reputation for this, man.
Yeah, so
Ah, great
I
headroom.
think it's 6'2". I think it's 6'2" headroom.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Andrew. I hope you guys
Yeah.
enjoyed it. A
Yeah.
1983 Sabre 34.
84, 34.
84, 34. We can edit all of my
34,
stuff out.
32.
Yep. Hey, did you find this helpful? Then help us give back. Join our Give the Gift of Cruising campaign on Patreon. I want to see you there. Finding these boat tours helpful? Awesome! Help us by giving back and supporting our Give the Gift of Cruising campaign on Patreon. just a few small donations from each of you, and I can do something very big for one of my patrons. Get inspired and get on board.
So we did everything, did the survey, everything, and my wife and I came down, cleaned the boat up. We had a babysitter. We were just going to take it all out. And I turned the boat on and I tried to put it in gear, and the gear shifter's just laying there, just flopping around. And I'm like, I can't believe it.
But you kind of can, because you're like, this stuff's going to happen to me.
And the other thing that happened was, I was real trepidatious about changing the name, but I was going to do it anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people have.
And so it was literally the second I finished putting the name on the transom, that I got a phone call, and it was my insurance company dropping me. Literally,
I forgot about that too.
The second that I finished putting it on,
put on the little S in there.
I seriously did. I was like working out one of the bubbles in the vinyl, and I hear my phone ringing, and I was like, I have to call back. And I did, and it was like, this is Geico Insurance, just to notify you that you are now dropped.
Oh,
like,
God.
And it was,
but you figured it out. You worked
simple.
it out.
Yeah.
But it's so funny how stuff like that can make you go, oh boy, bad decision.
Knew I should. Yeah. So one thing I did notice, this is, kind of obsessive compulsive, but whenever they put whenever they redid it, they put the spreaders on backwards.
Oh my God, really?
So I don't think it matters.
If you've left it, you're like, it's totally fine.
Maybe you shouldn't publish that. Everybody's gonna know.
Oh, nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody cares. You know what? And I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you. You're gonna be my first person to ask this. A lot of my followers want to know if there's room for,
yes,
fun time.
Yes, there is.
I think so. It's got some headroom here.
Let's be honest. How much room do you really need?
Right, in a boat. We're here today with Andrew on a 1984 Sabre 32.
34.
I knew it.
Always try to cut 2 feet off.
I know. I figured I would.